Hello everybody, welcome to Just Upright. My name is Doc Jing Ruder. I'm a doctor of physical therapy and I'm your foreign educated physical therapist guide to US application. I hope you guys are doing great. So we're going to talk about first the upcoming masterclass January 2024 if you're a foreign educated physical therapist who are needing guidance for application to the US, because it can be overwhelming and it can be a daunting task. There's so many things that you need to master so that you would know what to do, what not to do in order not to waste your time, not to waste your money, and for me to answer your questions live. It's a live online Zoom masterclass. The details for registration is down at the description section, okay? So I'm going to talk about today the requirements for CGFNS Visa Screen Certificate, okay? So I would like to clarify before we dive into that. There is a credentialing process, so a credentialing or educational credential review. It's mainly for FCCPT or ICD or IERF, ICA, or University of Austin in Texas. Those are credentialing agencies that are checking whether you're really a graduate of physical therapy program and whether your school taught the subjects and the trainings that you need and it is comparable to the current standard of the US, okay? So that is credentialing. Now, there's another part, it's a healthcare worker certificate or Visa Screen Certificate. So if you're going to use that FCCPT Type 1 review for immigration, it's a combo. It's for credentialing and the Visa Screen Certificate or Healthcare Worker Certificate. So meaning, if you pass the Type 1 review for immigration, you can use that for NPTE, okay, processing your application to take the National Physical Therapy Examination for the state. And then you can use the Type 1 review for immigration for your employer to use to file you with a working or immigrant visa, okay? Now, if you don't want to use the Type 1 review for immigration, okay, of FCCPT, you can use the educational credential review, okay? Or you can use other credentialing agency like I mentioned before, ICD, IERF, ICA, depending on what state you're going to apply. Each state has their own recommendation or accepted credentialing agency, okay? So the one that I'm going to discuss right now is just for healthcare worker certificate or Visa Screen Certificate, okay? So this Visa Screen Certificate is again needed for visa application by your employer so that they can file you with a working or immigrant visa. The Visa Screen Certificate is not used for NPTE purposes, okay? You cannot use the Visa Screen to apply to the state and for the NPTE part, okay? You have to have a separate credentialing aside from the Visa Screen Certificate, okay? So if, for example, you are already here in the US, or even if you're outside the US but you are a US citizen or you are a US immigrant, okay, those are the only two who are exempted from healthcare worker certificate or Visa Screen Certificate. If you do not have a working or immigrant or you're not a US citizen, then you still need to get the Visa Screen Certificate so that your employer will be able to file you with a working or immigrant visa, okay? So I hope that is clear. So we're gonna hop on to the CGFNS website. We're going to look at the requirements, the documents that you need to submit, and how much is the fee and other fees, okay, related to this Visa Screen Certificate, okay? Coming right up. Guys, so we are here on the website of the CGFNS, okay? So Visa Screen or Visa Credentials Assessment. So this is something new, 2024 update, okay? So it says here to improve our Visa Screen service and to make it more convenient for our applicants, CGFNS has introduced a digital version of Visa Screen Certificate. So it used to be paper. So they're gonna mail you the paper version before, but now it's digital. So the digital certificate is immediately accessible to both applicants and government authorities through a secure online platform. So that is something new this 2024, okay? So first, what is a Visa Screen Service? Okay, so it says Visa Credentials Assessment or Visa Screen Service is a comprehensive screening service for healthcare professionals seeking an occupational visa to work in the United States. Applicants who successfully complete Visa Screen receive an official ICHP certificate that satisfies the U.S. federal screening requirements. CGFNS International is approved by U.S. Department of Homeland Security to validate the credentials of 9 foreign healthcare professionals for occupational visas, of which CGFNS is the only organization to validate 7 of those professions, okay? So these are the professions that are being evaluated, okay? So as you can see, this is the list, and one of which is the physical therapist, okay, but not for physical therapy assistants, okay? So these are the list of the professions. So physical therapists were under this Visa Screen, okay? So it was a law in 1996, in Illegal Immigration Reform and Immigrant Responsibility Act of 1996 requires specific healthcare professionals to complete a screening program before they can receive either a permanent or temporary occupational visa, including the trade NAFTA status. So the trade NAFTA status are the residents of Mexico and Canada. So you still, guys, if you are a Canadian citizen, if you are a Mexican citizen, only for citizens this is applicable. You can use your TN visa, but even if you use the TN visa, you still need the Visa Screen Certificate to work to the US as a physical therapist, okay? So what are the required documents? So first one is the secondary school information. So this is usually the high school, okay? So this requirement is waived only if the applicant completed secondary education more than 10 years ago, okay? So if your high school is done more than 10 years ago, they don't need this information from your high school, okay? License, registration, diploma information, validations of all licenses, registrations, diplomas are required, okay? So CGFNS validates all licenses, registrations, and diplomas obtained by an applicant for Visa Screen, a Visa Credential Assessment Service, including those that are currently held or that have been held in the past by the applicant from all jurisdictions, both foreign and domestic, okay? For signature of validation authority must be dated within the last 3 years, okay? So we're gonna skip the nursing part. Professional education information. So CGFNS will need to receive complete academics. So this is from your college or universities, okay? So, and they have to send it directly from your school to CGFNS, okay? These documents must be in English, and any translation to English must be done by educational institution that the applicant has attended or completed. If the educational institution is unavailable to provide an English translation, then CGFNS can translate the document for additional fee, okay? And then you need a photo passport style pictures, okay? So these are the requirements for the pictures, okay? And if you want more details about the pictures, you can click this one and go through with it, okay? English requirements. So the CGFNS has, can accept different kinds of English tests. So including the TOEFL IBT, which is more common for physical therapists, but they also accept IELTS, okay, for the CGFNS. But just a reminder, this is very important. If you're going to take IELTS, you have to remember you can only use IELTS specifically for the CGFNS, okay, or ICD also accepts IELTS. But no, for example, you go to state of Texas and they require TOEFL. They will not accept IELTS in replacement of TOEFL. All states that require English proficiency only accepts TOEFL. So there's a downside if you use IELTS. Okay, if you take IELTS as an English exam. Okay, so it's better to take TOEFL IBT just in case the state that you're applying is requiring you also to pass the TOEFL. Okay, so English requirement. What is the requirement to pass the TOEFL? So let's go down here. Okay, so for physical therapists, the overall score should be 89. Okay, the reading, listening, writing section, the combined or composite score should be 63, and the speaking part is 26. Okay, 26. So somebody asked me, guys, they said that they look at the he or she looks at the FSBPT passing, and it is different from the passing for FCCPT Type 1 review for immigration. Okay, so it's like the FSBPT, the passing score is 24 from the FSBPT website, but for Visa Screen Certificate or Type 1 review for immigration, it's 26. So the answer to that is some states, like I said, depending on what state you're going to apply, they require TOEFL. And sometimes they don't put the passing score on their website, and they say the passing score is based on the passing score of FSBPT, established passing score of FSBPT. So whatever the FSBPT said, the passing score for TOEFL, that is what the passing score for that state. So that is why FSBPT has a different passing score, different from the passing score for Visa Screen or Healthcare Worker Certificate. So the Healthcare Worker Certificate is more strict when it comes to speaking in English, okay? It's more 2 points higher, 26 compared to 24, okay? So you might ask, can I be exempted from taking TOEFL for Visa Screen Certificate? So CGFNS will give you exception if you have this two. You should have of these two criteria, okay? Not just one, but both of them. You should have them before you can get accepted. So the entry-level professional education, meaning your bachelor degree, was taken from UK, Australia, Canada, except Quebec, New Zealand, Ireland, or the US, and your English must have been the language of instruction, including language of textbooks. But if you only have this second one, but you don't have the first one, you are not exempted from TOEFL. You have to have this both, okay? And then you can read this if you are for renewal of your Visa Screen Certificate, okay? These are the requirements, okay? The fee. So let's go to the fee. So if you click this part, it's gonna take you here. The Visa Screen application is $740, okay? $740. If you want an expedited review, it's $650, okay? So expedited means they will start the review after they receive all the requirements and the fees from you, okay? So if you submitted a little bit of documents and you haven't, passed the TOEFL yet, if your application is incomplete, then they cannot start the process, whether it is a standard application or an expedited application. For renewal, it's $475. To reprocess an expired application is $250. replacement of certificate, $195. This will not be a problem once you apply and it is digital, because you will not lose the copy of your paper certificate. Certificate verification letter is $150. Okay, so that is for the fee for the Visa Screen Certificate. Okay, so there's also very useful frequently asked questions. I advise you guys to go through with this depending on what is your question, and so that you can have the answers for any question that you have, or you can email them. Okay, so these are the general requirements for the CGFNS Visa Screen Certificate. Okay guys, so I hope that is clear with you about the CGFNS Visa Screen Certificate. So CGFNS deals with Visa Screen Certificate and CGFNS New York for credentialing. Okay, for other credentialing, if you're needing for credentialing, ICD is a sister company of CGFNS. So that's why you cannot find in different states. For example, you look at their preferred evaluating or credentialing agency, you cannot see CGFNS, but you can see ICD. They are a sister company, but they have specific roles. So ICD has 30 plus states that they have that they are accredited or accepted. FCCPT, on the other hand, is accepted in all 50 states. Okay, so that's the advantage of FCCPT, but FCCPT is more expensive. Okay, another point for FCCPT that I will give to them is that they are proficient. CGFNS had, especially during the pandemic and after the pandemic, had a lot of delays. A lot of people are messaging me because they had been delayed for a year or so, but I think right now they are back on track. Okay, but you have to check with them, email them, message them for any questions, and time frame. If you start your application, how long will it take, so that you will know for your time frame period, if you have a target when to come here to the US, you would know what to expect. Okay, so thank you so much guys for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button, because it will help me reach many more foreign educated physical therapists around the world. Please like, please share this video so that YouTube will know that they can share this video to other foreign educated physical therapists. And also, if you have any comments, clarification, suggestion, kindly put the comment down below, and I will get to them as soon as I possibly can. Until the next video guys, thank you for watching and stay blessed.